Good morning. Thanks for joining us on Daybreak. I'm Lillian Muli sitting in for Serafine this morning. And our topic of discussion is travel and tourism studies in Kenya. Joining us in studio is Air Travel and Related Studies Center Managing Director Charles Gaku. Mr. Gaku, welcome and thank you so much for joining us this morning.
Thank you, Lillian. How are you?
I'm very well.
Good. Nice to see you.
Nice to see you too.
This cold morning.
Yes. So let's begin with an overview of the Air Travel and Related Studies Center.
Okay.
In terms of the role it plays in Kenya's travel and tourism sector, before we get into the programs that students study there or what it is they have in terms of options, let's talk about the role that it has played over the years in the travel and tourism sector.
Oh, thank you, Lillian. Air Travel and Related Studies Center is an institution that is 33 years old. I started this institution on the first day of December 1992. After graduation from Kenya Utalii College, and I've seen the institution grow from strength to strength, right from 4 students to about 1,000 students that we have at the moment. Luckily, we do programs that take our students to work outside the country because we are members of IATA. IATA stands for International Air Transport Association, association of all the airlines of the world. For the last 25 years, we've been members. That means that they get an international qualification, and when they are done with the programs, they don't have to work in the country, they work anywhere in the world. So we have made quite a great contribution in terms of training for travel and tourism for not just the country, but for the entire world. As a matter of fact, Lillian, you have been awarded every other year. We get awards. This is for the 17th year running. This is issued by IATA to Air Travel and Related Studies Center as the only premier SACO member in Africa and the Middle East for the 17th year running.
Congratulations.
Thank you very much.
Now, in terms of job placement, you talked about IATA and the fact that your alumni are placed in jobs international, so the global market is ready for them.
Yes.
Let's talk about some of the notable alumni achievements that you can speak of as regards people that have gone through your center.
They have a club at Dubai, and also in Abu Dhabi and Doha, Qatar, called the Air Travel Club for alumni of students who are, have done courses in travel, tourism, hospitality, cabin crew, and so on. As a matter of fact, anytime you're on a flight to wherever it is, you're on maybe Emirates, you're on Qatar, or you're on Etihad, even Kenya Airways and KLM and all the rest, you'll find our graduates there. Coming to the hotel industry, name all the international chains that you can talk about. Air Travel and Related Studies Center is actually represented. Talk about the airports, not just in Kenya, talk about Dubai International Airport, Singapore, talk about London Heathrow, all of them. You get a presence of students from Air Travel and Related Studies Center simply because the qualification is international. So our footprint is quite big. We are growing, of course, from strength to strength, courtesy of the international qualifications. And most importantly, also we make sure that our students are disciplined. Air Travel Related Center actually is a boarding institution. Right. We don't take the scholars so that we mold them, not just in terms of passing the examination and getting that coveted diploma, but also making sure that they have the right attitudes, the right skills, the right knowledge, so that these students can be able to be perfect, whatever it is, a model student who can work for the industry. So that becomes very important.
Right. Now, Charles, when you talk about Air Travel and Related Studies Center, this is quite a wide scope in terms of, the topic or the field.
Yes.
So in terms of career guidance, we're always told that as we're guiding our children or the younger persons, they need to be very clear on what it is that they are enrolling in. So in terms of, admission into this center, what are the options available for the people who are enrolled here? And in terms of admission requirements, what would it entail for me, for instance? Fresh out of college, fresh out of high school, what would it entail in terms of admission, and what options am I looking at in terms of areas of interest?
We have one guiding factor, which is called passion. Our programs are actually skills. We provide skills to those who want to be cabin crew, those who want to work in the air cargo industry, those who want to be tour guides, those who want to be chefs, those who want to be hotel managers, those who want to major in banqueting and events management, and so on and so forth. So before we talk about grades, the first thing that we really are very keen about is, do you have passion? Do you have a calling to do whatever it is that you aspire to do? So we have a very vibrant guidance and counseling department back at Air Travel and Related Study Center to ensure that not just the Form 4 leavers, not after school, but we also visit high schools and provide career guidance to Form 4s who are just about to complete their program, so that whatever you receive in school is something that are students who already get to know what it is that they want to join. So that becomes quite critical. So grades, we of course you have to have done a KCSE, but we will not say, no, Lillian, don't join us because you got an E or you got a D, you got a C, whatever it is that you got, because the guiding factor is passion. We also have guardians who, push students to do courses that they don't want to do. And what I would like to tell such guardians is that let the students decide their destiny, what it is that they actually want to do. Because I've had so many cases of students who have done BCom elsewhere, they've done education elsewhere. They come with their parents and say, Mr. Charles Gaku, we want you at Air Travel Related Study Center now we want now you to teach me what it is that I want to do. I was doing this for my parents, so that is quite important. In terms of intakes, we are very careful because, Lillian, we provide industry attachment. We guarantee our students industry attachment, so we only take 30 students in a class, so that we can be able to give them the premium, the top areas that require, for them to be able to get practical knowledge. In terms of hotels, talk about 5-star hotels, international airlines, so that they get an international exposure, ready to go and work outside in the country. And we made even an extra step, Lillian. We registered a company called Aviation and Hospitality Solutions Limited. Now, Aviation and Hospitality Solutions Limited is under the Ministry of Labor, under the National Employment Authority, and this is the license. And this particular company is licensed to take our students who have registered with us to go and work anywhere in the world. And then to make sure that they are safe wherever it is that they are going, we have also associated ourselves with an association for skilled manpower so that they are taken care of wherever it is that they go to work abroad. Yes. So when you talk about training in terms of travel and tourism and hospitality, you need to guide your students that they are taking an international qualification. They don't have to work anywhere in the world. They don't have to work in the country only. They're able to work anywhere in the world. More importantly, Lillian, is because you're boarding school, you have to provide, of course, meals, accommodation, and the tuition for only 45,000 shillings every month. So that is meals, accommodation, and tuition as well. Yeah. That means that being a boarding school, you don't have to pay this in cash only. We also make sure that if you have farm produce, whatever it is that we can be able to do as a barter trading, that becomes possible. Back to the intakes. Our intakes are in the month of May. We have an intake going on at the moment. We have July. We have September, November. In other words, every odd month of the year is an intake month for us. So,
and how long does the course take, depending on what it is that you have specialized in, whether it's cabin crew, whether you want to be in the kitchen perhaps as a culinary chef, whether you want to end up on a cruise ship.
Yes.
Do we have durations that are allocated to each, or is it a standard sort of duration? Okay,
we have 8 programs. And each program is made up of 2 years. 1.5 years in class, what you call theory, and then 6 months industrial attachment, where they go and showcase their skills that they've learned in a classroom situation. And the industrial attachment is guaranteed at Air Travel and Related Study Center. So you will not be the people to give you a letter, Lillian, please, to whom it may concern, so-and-so is our student, please get them industrial attachment, because you don't get them industrial attachment, they don't also graduate. So for us, with a network of 33 years, actually, Lillian, I get more students, more spaces for industrial attachment than I actually need, because of the expertise that I have, because of the networks that I have over 33 years.
We talked about a lot about the global space, but talking about uptake and employment right here in the country.
Yes.
What have you seen in terms of the rate of employment here locally from your alumni? Are there job opportunities that are readily available for these students or for this alumni based on their expertise after enrolling in this center?
Yes, we were doing our statistics the other day because 90% of our students on industrial attachment, that attachment is based in Nairobi, or it's based in Kenya for that matter. Our records show that 86% of our students actually get jobs where it is that take them for the industrial attachment. Why? They are well disciplined, they have the passion because we're vetted right from the start, and so on and so forth. And then we are lucky in this country that at the moment you have a very, very vibrant tourism industry happening. I think you are aware that the Hilton is back, the Intercontinental is back. You know that more and more airlines are actually setting up foot in Kenya. We have Gulf Air coming in after about 18-year hiatus. We have Air Asia and many more. There are records to show that over the next 3 years, the hotel industry itself is going to receive 24 international hotel chains setting up in Kenya. That means the industry is great. And then we are also very lucky to have a very vibrant middle class. Our domestic market is, of course, on the rise, and these are all very good signs for the country. I was talking to hotel managers before I go to the studio today, as well as airlines and the tour operators. And they are forecast for the month of June, July onwards, which is normally a high season, all the way to November, looks very good, meaning that it's going to coincide also with our traditional domestic season in the month of December, January going forward. So great. The more students, the more tourists get into the country, that means also the better opportunities for industrial attachment our students get, and also chances for employment that our students actually accrue as we go forward. So,
and the focus on employment is real, but some people would perhaps enroll here because they want to start their own businesses. Perhaps they want to do their own booking and traveling agencies. They want perhaps to open their restaurants, perhaps run their Airbnbs and have a chain of the same.
That's
Are
right.
there opportunities for these people to get into entrepreneurship after getting
Great.
skills?
If I could quickly just go through the 8 different programs that we offer, that could help us, because we have both full-time studies and the part-time studies. The first program that we offer is food production. You know, the chefs. We never had enough chefs in the world, not just in Kenya. People can prepare any kind of cuisine, Indian, American, Italian, French, any kind of food that is taken, because our clients, of course, come from all over the world. That's the first program that we offer. The second program that we offer is hotel management. These are people that we train to be able to understand each and every department that is there in a hotel. They understand about the kitchen, the restaurant, the housekeeping, the reception, the public areas, the human resource, the stores, control, reception area. So these are people, again, who we call hotel managers. And again, the beauty of this is that you're able to work in any of those particular departments in the hotel. The third program that we offer is international travel and tourism, the one that you are asking about, where we train students to not just issue air tickets, but also calculate fares and make reservations, and at the same time prepare safari. I know that Lillian is coming on British Airways at 8 p.m. in the evening on a 7-day safari. So well before clients get here, I'll prepare an itinerary for you so that when you land in Kenya, you go to Kempinski, the following day you go to Saroba Shaba in Samburu, come back to Mount Kenya Safari Club, come to Nanyuki, Naivasha, Masai Mara, the Carnival, and so on and so forth. So this one in travel and tourism can also be able to employ yourself. The third program that we offer is cabin crew. Cabin crew, air hostess, flight attendants. These are people who are able to serve food, serve beverage, and ensure that, even more important, that the comfort of guests in our airlines is top-notch, because clients come from very far away, 8 hours from London, 14 hours from New York, and so on and so forth. That is another program that we do offer. We always forget, and that's the next program, about air cargo. Passengers or airlines don't just carry passengers, they also carry cargo. In fact, we have dedicated airlines that we call freighters that deal cargo alone, FedEx, DHL, and so on and so forth. So we need personnel to work for the cargo industry, and this business is growing. In fact, post-COVID, the cargo business has never slowed down, because right from the days of PPEs and so on, and vaccines, it has grown over in leaps and bounds. That we have tour guiding. When these clients come into a country, of course, they require services of somebody to be able to take them around the national parks and national reserves. The job is to interpret the culture, the flora, the fauna of the peoples of the East African region, and for that matter. In fact, tour guides with our clients 95% of the time that they get into a country. Yeah. Besides that, we have 2 new programs that, getting back to your question, can be able to employ yourself very, very easily. The first one is national banqueting and events management. The days of outside catering is all gone, where now we have to make it more structured, more professional, where you get somebody dedicated as a business or an event organizer can be able to handle all your seating arrangements, your cake, your floral arrangements, all in one package. So that I just go to Lillian, she can be able to handle all that for myself. Right. And then for those who are already in the industry, who are already working, they're not left behind, because we have short courses like pastry and bakery, where you can be able to employ yourself, preparing cakes, breads, profiteroles, and so on and so forth. We also have short programs for driver guides. The heart of the tourism industry is the driver guides. And the statistics are showing that we have an aging population as far as guides are concerned. So short courses where they know already how to guide, but they lack certification. We are able to take them on a very short 6-month program, where they're able to learn in a structured manner what it is that they're doing as a professional level. So they come out as professionals. So our programs either you get the employment way, or you get into a self-employment, because the international qualification is international. You can also be able to work anywhere in the world. And
now you talked about a conglomerate of international chains that are coming into the country.
Yes.
So keeping up with global industry trends.
Yes.
Talking about the big brands that are now here in this country in terms of partnerships with your center. Are there any, so that we're looking at a situation where, whether it is cabin crew duties, air cargo management, that if you're placed in Heathrow or if you're placed in Dallas, the same standards that would be applied by somebody that went to a center there will be applied by your alumni who was trained here locally.
And you're right, Lillian, because if you look at Westlands today, I think we don't have less than 5 international hotel brands that have set up in the Westlands area of Nairobi. Actually, it's become more or less the hospitality area of our country, or the district of our country that is so top in hospitality. Now, our partnerships are 2 levels. The first level is at a local level, where we enter into agreements with hotels in terms of industrial attachment. The last 6 months or so of the course is industrial attachment. That is one. The second level of affiliations is through the company that we just talked to you about, Aviation and Hospitality Solutions Limited, where we are forging partnerships with hotels, airlines, tour companies, and of course airports, so that when our students are done, they're able to be absorbed one-on-one under the Ministry of Labor through the Department of National Employment Authority. So with that, students get confidence that when you get to Air Travel and Related Study Center, then chance of getting unemployment are between 98 and 100%. Much more importantly, I must thank our examination partners, that is IATA, because they review their syllabus after every other 6 months, so that whatever they're giving to our students is current, meets international standards, because remember, when a student is doing an examination at Air Travel and Related Study Center, they say another student in Dubai, in Sydney, in Australia, in Sydney, in Vancouver, in Washington is doing the same examination. Right. That means that they are equated equally, and the qualification that they get enables them to work in is a universal qualification. So we have never had an issue of a student who did not meet the cut when they went to the job market, simply because the qualification is national. We have had 33 years of training. My teaching faculty is also very professional. Most of them have gone through the industry, trained, garnered lots of years of experience in the industry. They just come back to give out that to the community and to the students at large.
Something interesting that has caught my attention is the fact that there are 2 international languages offered with each course in your handbook here. So language being a challenge, because, for instance, whether it's Safari, you will get a German visitor, an Italian visitor.
Yes.
You might see a very good job opportunity in Germany, which really is what suits what your area of interest is, or your passion, but then the language remains a challenge. So how do you deal with that particular issue?
When you pick a course at Air Travel and Related Study Center, we also have to take 2 international languages. The choice is from French, German, Italian, Spanish, and Arabic as well. How are they chosen? We know, for example, if you're taking a course in hospitality, that is hotel management, food production, and so on, most of the food items actually are in French language. So that becomes one of those languages that you pick if you're taking a course in hospitality. Then you add one more. If you're a cabin crew, then Arabic becomes very important because we are looking at the mega carriers of the Middle East, Emirates, Qatar, and Etihad, and so on. Language will open doors for you, Lillian, because the communication aspect is very, very important. But the language that we teach at Air Travel and Related Studies, because of the limitation on time, is a language that enables you to communicate in your area of specialization. Greetings, types of food, talking about timing, explaining aspects that involve travel, tourism, and hospitality so that you are perfect in that, because ours, again, is a communications industry. And we have seen our students who have excelled very well in languages also are the first to be picked, because in many adverts that you have seen, it talks about speaking an international language is an added advantage all the time. And we have excelled. For 33 years, we have seen our students go places because of the language aspect, and also, I must mention all the time, the international qualification.
Talking about innovation, and we're living in digital times, meaning that the travel and tourism sector has literally now found itself bumping people off employment, because you can easily book your trip for yourself, you can easily book your ticket for yourself, your airport transfers and what have you. So incorporating innovation into your programs and addressing the current and future needs of travel. Where are you on that as an institution?
We have a very supportive examination body, IATA, that of course, with every, as I mentioned, with every change in the industry and the continuous change, going to AI and so on, they are of course very, very much focused on that. I'm a firm believer that as much as you can be able to issue your own ticket from the comfort of your house and so on, there are many other aspects that are so human-related that you're not able to do yourself. So I am here saying that I believe, and IATA believes, that the replacement of the human being as far as areas in travel, tourism, and hospitality are concerned will take a long time to come. And it will not be completely able to replace somebody, to work in the industry 100%. I know that we have robots now doing the service and so on and so forth, checking in, intelligent checking in and so on. But the human aspect, as far as I'm concerned, remains important. The more we have technology replacing other aspects of the industry, the more also we'll need much more trained people to take care of the remaining aspects that IT cannot be able to sustain as far as we go on.
And a lot of some of the job cuts and people being laid off that we saw happened during the COVID period. And so, for instance, I was in Kisumu the other day and I met this gentleman who served me very well at the airport. You could see this is a very well-trained person. And when I had a chat with him, he told me he was laid off, by a very big chain of hotels. And so, in terms of people who perhaps are casualties of this season, people who were in the industry before now find themselves out of jobs, is there a place for them at the Air Travel and Related Studies?
Good question, Lillian.
Refresher courses, perhaps.
Refresher courses are there. We have refresher courses, and much more important, when you talk about job cuts in Kenya, Australia, Canada, and the entire Middle East is looking for fresh personnel. The moment or the mistake that you're making as an industry, training in travel and tourism and hospitality, is that we continue providing our students with local qualifications, which limit them to working inside the country only. In the case of Air Travel and Related Studies Center, where the qualification is international, we are not worried about more or less what is happening in the Kenyan situation, because we know the cruise ships that you talked about, they're looking like for 10,000 people. Hotels abroad and the countries that I've just mentioned. So for the parent and for the student who is perhaps watching me today, I would like them to embrace international qualifications. That way, they insulate themselves against the job cuts we're talking about, because however well you're trained, as long as your qualification remains local, then you're tying yourself to working in a Kenyan situation only. And that is the problem that you're having in this country. 75% of those who work in the travel and tourism industry as well as hospitality are youth between the age of 17 and 35. And The same goes for the entire world.
I was getting to that. Is age a factor when you talk about your admissions procedure and your intake, and you find somebody who is perhaps advanced in age? Does that limit them in terms of...
No, not quite, because we are mandated to train students between the age of 17 and 72. That's the TVET Act. These days they're finishing Form 4 even before they are at the age of 18, and it goes on. So the issue of refresher, this is vocational training, the issue of refresher and so on comes in, and that means that then age cannot be a limit, because then you'll be... And there's something on that has also come back, and I'm very happy with government. There is qualification or recognition of prior learning that is going on. That you're able to come to Air Travel and Related Study Center. You tell me you have 20 years experience and so on. I'm able to help you administer an examination via NITA. NITA is National Industrial Training Authority, and you can be able to get your qualification, and then you get back on track. Now here you are, Lillian, with 20 years of experience, but now it is backed by a qualification. So we have everything for everyone, and we don't let off anyone because they did not learn a long time ago. So that is not actually their wish. It's not actually their fault.
Right. Let's talk about the future goals and projects for Air Travel and Related Studies Center, and how you plan to achieve them to further improve the learning experiences and learning outcomes of those who enroll in the center.
We have been in the industry for 33 years at college level, diploma level. Of course, we aim to be a center of excellence, providing training at degree level, master's and PhD. When you convert into a university, that could be through affiliations or still at a college level or becoming a university ourselves. But there's something that we must not lose track of, making sure that we are dealing with international bodies. The folly of many of the colleges and universities that I know is that they come up with their own programs, and those programs might not be able to meet the cut when it comes to developments at international level in the fields in which we are training. Much more, we also hope to become a center in terms of providing examinations at international level for other lower cadre institutions and colleges that we have in this country, so they can be able to subscribe to examinations, and they're also able to benefit from international qualification, just like the one that is being offered at Air Travel and Related Study Center at the moment.
We did not talk about your faculty. And there's a question that came in about who it is that is guiding the persons that enroll in this center. Are they previous professionals in the industry? Who are these people? Who makes part of your faculty?
My faculty is made up of seriously experienced, well-baked, lots of experienced staff members who have worked in the industry for long. And not just that, they have also gone through a training, trainers, kind of a program from the Kenyan School of TVET, so that they can be able to impact knowledge to the students on a proper basis. And for this still training faculty, every other time that we have opportunity, especially in the months of December when these law schools are closed, we also take them back to the industry to be able to refresh, so that whatever they're giving the students as well, besides being backed by international qualification, is also current from an industry perspective. We also have lots of guest speakers who could be chefs who have come through our institution or from elsewhere. Could be, cargo handlers, could be hotel managers, could be those who have excelled as cabin crews. They come actually every Thursday in the afternoon to give our students what insights are there at the moment as far as the industry is concerned. So a student from Air Travel and Related Study Center is completely different from lots of other institutions, because we take care of them. Remember, it's a boarding environment where we take care of them. All these guest speakers and so on, international qualifications, guaranteed industrial attachments, 2 languages that you can be able to, you impart on them so they can be able to be much more marketable and so on. And Lillian, I also go to class myself. I make sure that between 8 o'clock and 12:30, I have a classes that are examinable by IATA, just like any other, learning or like any other teaching student. Why? Like any other teaching lecturer? Because I still believe, after 33 years, even if this is my institution, I still have something to offer to the travel and tourism industry and so on. And affiliations are the key. Working with the industry is the key. But you're not able to work with the industry. Your students will be rejected if they don't meet the cut because they fall short of what the syllabus has to offer and the current happenings in the industry.
So I see a cocktail as we wind up. A cocktail of courses here: Diploma in International Food Production,
yes,
Diploma in International Travel and Tourism. There is Tour Guiding and Administration.
Yes.
Very interestingly, Cabin Crew Duties,
yes,
Air Cargo Management, International Housekeeping and Accommodation Studies. You talked about intake currently being in progress.
Yes.
Walk us as we close through how people can find you, how they can be enrolled, and indeed if they have further questions to ask, where they can get that information.
Air Travel and Related Study Center is located in Karen, in Nairobi. If you're using public means, you get to number 111 from Railways. 111 is normally going to Ngong Town, but you alight at Karen Shopping Center. There's a Java at Karen Shopping Center, and that is where we have our shuttle, which is for free. You are picked up by our shuttle. You are taken to the institution for inquiries, and then after the inquiries, you are taken back to Karen Shopping Center for free.
Is the shuttle there once a day?
It's there every other 15 minutes. From Karen Shopping Center to the institution is only 2.5 kilometers, about 4 or 5 minutes. So every other 15 minutes you have the shuttle. Just give a call. My telephone number is 0721 380-590. Air Travel Related Study Center. Telephone contact is 0721 380-590. Lillian, as I said, I also teach, so you can call that number. I'm not available. We have the institution's number, which is 0722 669961. The institution's number is 0722 669961. We are all in the socials, website and so on. Everything is there. The most important thing is to make a start. I always advocate that when a parent feels that they want their daughter or son to join Air Travel and Related Study Center, they need to accompany the students so they can be able to make this decision together.
And about flexible payment plans, that's also another issue we didn't quite
That's right, 45,000 shillings a month. That includes accommodation, meals and tuition. 45,000 shillings a month. Flexible in terms of you don't have to pay that in cash. If you have farm produce, I have lots of students from Mwea who pay through rice. I have others from the Rift Valley who have maize and so on. Why? Because even if you give me cash, it is a boarding institution. I still have to buy meals, I have to buy all that so that the students can be able to be comfortable. Now, Air Travel and Related Study Center has excelled, being the only Premier Circle member of IATA for the last 17 years and counting. And that is every other year being given that. Is not a mean feat. If students can Google and parents can Google, they can be able to see the work that has been done and also what it is that you have achieved in terms of revolutionizing the training industry, not just in Kenya, but also in the entire world, courtesy of our programs.
And very importantly, being able to place your alumni in the job market, I think is a good point to end this conversation.
I believe I'm the only one who offers and guarantees industrial attachment for my students in all fields. As I mentioned earlier, I even have more than I need. And most importantly, I believe that I'm the only one who has made a step to register a different company through the Ministry of Labor under the National Employment Authority to be able to help the students even after they have graduated at Air Travel and Related Study Center. Good
job you're doing. Air Travel and Related Studies Center Managing Director Charles Gaku says the intake is currently underway. And therefore, please make your way and find out more about what this center has to offer. We thank you very much for your time.
Most welcome and have a good day.
And have a good day as well. We're taking a very short break. We're back with more. And in the next part of this show, we will be talking health matters, where we'll be taking a very close look at asthma and how to manage this condition. Stay with us.